Welcome to Roasting the World, where we offer an adversarial perspective on today's cultural issues. We do it for the intelligent culture. I'm your host, Keenan Robinson, and we have a very special guest today.
I am Jasmine Williams. I'm the owner of Designer Agents Realty, and I'm from Tennessee. Got a background in interior design, and I'm ready to talk.
All right. See, I didn't even have to tell her what you tell us about yourself. So let me ask you this first. Let's because you're into real estate. Let's go all the way back to when we was promised 40 acres and a mule, right?
What?
So when we were offered that and we never got it, and now people are talking about reparations and all this kind of stuff. As a person that deals with real estate, how will that affect the economy or the real estate game? Because we're really running out of places to put houses.
Yeah, I mean, we really aren't.
We're not.
They're, but I mean, they say like they're not buy land and not making any more of it.
Right.
That is true, but I don't feel like we're running out of space. I think that everybody just wants to live near each other.
That's true.
So if you're thinking about it from that perspective, yeah, I mean, if you live in a city, it's only so much space in the city, so that's why we got condos and things like that. But if you're willing to have a homestead, you're willing to move outside of the city.
What's a homestead? First of all, that sounds like an old game or something.
No, you don't know what a homestead is?
I don't know.
Or are you asking for a devil's advocate?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so a homestead is basically like a house that is self-sufficient. And so usually that home is usually somewhere rural, and you'll have your own chickens, you'll have your own like water source, maybe a pond, or live near a creek or something.
Okay.
You might have like solar panels to help you with electrical things. Just old school pulley systems.
Who's
windmills?
Who's doing that?
The well water. People do it.
Now I do think that we need to get back to being able to grow our own food and clean
and
our own water
and
all that kind of stuff. But I don't think we're there yet. So most people, when they hit you and they say, "Hey, I'm looking for a place," they're not saying, "Hey, I need a homestead."
No,
right?
they're not. No, they want to be plumbed and like regular electricity, city utilities, and things like that. But some people don't mind living like that, and I feel like it's okay. I'm not gonna say I live like that, but as far as the way I eat and the way that I try to live my life, I try to do it the most natural way possible.
Right.
So now, don't mind. Look, I have electricity at my house.
She got this thing she got to turn.
Right, it's not no pulley system or anything like that.
To the well and get water.
Exactly, no, and water, and I take very long showers. I got a tankless water heater, so the water is unlimited hot of water. So I don't have to deal with that. But some people cool with that, and especially if you're into like homeschooling your children and things like that. I feel like, I don't know how sustainable it is for me long term, but I wouldn't mind living that way temporarily.
Yeah, just so you can know how to do it. Because I want to say my granddad on my mom's side, they had a farm where they had chickens and stuff like that. And I went there, and it looked unsanitary in some ways. Because I'm like, dude, why do I want to go? This chicken that I've named Paul. Now he's my friend, and now I gotta go eat him. Be like, it's Paul show. Yeah, I'm gonna be mad as a kid.
Yeah, but it kind of teaches you the way life is.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
The life lessons. You gotta
ashes,
eat your friends.
No, not eat your friends. But just that there's a cycle of life, and there's a hierarchy to life.
Right.
Whether that be in the human world, in the animal kingdom, we all know there's a hierarchy, and the snakes eat the rats, and whatever eats the snakes. And
so let me ask you a question. How did you get into real estate? Why did you choose that particular field to go into? Because there are a lot of different fields you can go into, and how have you been successful? Is like I don't want to know your trade secrets or anything like that, but is there some advice that you would
I don't have
tell
any, honestly, to give, but but I got into it. I used to work for Sherwin-Williams.
Okay, that's a paint company, right?
Right, and just working for Sherwin-Williams, not even realizing the amount of volume of paint that is being used in everyday life for people kind of opened my mind up to like, okay, like there's so many ways to make money out here.
Right.
Because like before I worked for Sherwin-Williams, I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, how are these companies making money? But then working for a company and seeing that every surface is painted, like just thinking about where we're sitting right now.
Right.
Everything in here has some kind of coating on it.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be like wall paint, but even like on your camera.
Right.
On your car.
Right.
On your boat.
Yeah.
On the ceiling fan.
Yep.
Everything has some kind of coating, and all of that is what Sherwin-Williams is selling. So that's kind of what got me into it. And most of my clients were contractors, painters, and they were using the same product. Like, I worked in an area where it was like Tri-City, super rich area of town. Like celebrities lived over there, like in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And it could be like $1 million house or a $200,000 house. They using that same flat beige paint on the wall on the $200,000 house and on the $1 million house. And I was like, okay. That's also when I started seeing, like, the more money you have, the more money you can make. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. And I was there working. My background's in interior design. That's what my degree is in. So I was there working. People asked me for interior design advice. And I'm getting paid by Sherwin-Williams to give these people advice. I'm like, I could be doing this on my own.
You so much more money.
Exactly. And so I was like, you know what? If this job, I was extremely unhappy at the time.
Right.
In lots of ways.
Okay.
Personally, at my job, I kept getting passed up for promotions. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to promote myself. Right. I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to start my own real estate business. And at the time, from then to now, it's just so much I've learned in between there, because I literally had no idea what I was doing. So, I mean, I'm not down at any of the new agents, but make sure y'all get y'all education, because I ain't gonna lie to you, my first transaction, I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. But yeah, fast forward now, and I would definitely call myself an expert.
So you are an expert now.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So, with that being said, you know, I recently made a purchase of my first home. I know a lot of people that are out here looking or have, you know, flipped houses or different things of that nature. What are some of the criteria? Because some people I don't think that they can do it. You know, they got a 300 credit score. You know, they got money, but they don't know about credit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough place to start from. 300. Okay, what were you doing?
Maybe 545. Yeah, okay, not 300.
No, I'm not judging either, because I right. But I started from a 500, and I feel like when I started, I was really down and out. Okay. So if you had a 300, I don't really know how far down you got into the out part.
So
like
you had
down
100 credit, you got one credit score.
Right. I don't know what you got going on, but it's tough, and it has to be something you really want to do. I feel like just like college, you don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to be the richest person. You don't have to be the most resourceful person to finish college. Right. But it does take determination. Right. It takes, I think it takes integrity, and it takes you going after your goal. Like, what word am I looking for?
I mean, being
relentless about your goals.
Dogmatic about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going. And that's kind of how, because I was dating a girl at the time. And she was like, well, I'm in school. Wait on me. And we were having some problems. And I was like,
don't wait on nobody.
I can't wait on somebody else to live out my dream and to do what I want to do. So one day I just started researching it. I started getting my cash together. I started doing all the steps, and I just did it. And you know, hey, I feel like I achieved something by actually going out and doing something, not waiting on somebody else. Because if you wait on other people, you'll always be waiting.
No,
you know. So what my this is just my advice as a first time person, to get with a person like yourself and say, lay it on the table. This is what it is. This is what I'm working with. What do I need to do? What steps do I need to take to get in a position to be ready? Right.
Well, see, me, I'm going to refer you to somebody whose specialty is credit. Now I know what I know about credit, and I've brought myself up without any help actually from it. But I feel like you can do it more efficiently and with less heartache and headache if you get with somebody who is a credit professional. They can tell you the exact steps, like, hey, I see your credit score and I see what's on it. You need to do this, this, and this. I just kind of was like Googling stuff, figuring it out. And it took me, this was 2016. It took me until, like, now I think I have a 730. But this was 2023. That's how long it took me. So don't do that. I think it might have taken me until 2 years ago, 2.5 or 3 years ago, to get to like a 670. Right. So it took me a long time, and so I don't recommend going the do-it-yourself route unless you got time to waste. Yeah,
and for me, mine is up there a little bit too. But what I did is I looked on my credit rate, my credit report, and I just started paying off the small stuff. $45 you owe to Kroger.
The snowball method.
You know what I mean? Like, it's something like you owe $100 to K Jewelers, and you just never paid them because it was 5 years ago.
Right. That's the Dave Ramsey snowball method. But going back to hiring a professional, something I didn't know before. If it was something that was 5 years ago, you probably shouldn't even paid it off at all.
Just wait 2 more years till it fell off?
Yeah, because what happens, what people don't realize is that if you pay something off that's old, it brings it up as new on your score.
Okay.
It brings it up as a new debt. You might have paid it, but it'll still pop up again.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's why I say, even if you don't hire a professional, sit through some kind of seminar that you pay for or something, just to get professional advice. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I would just say book a consultation with me. We're not going to turn this into a home buyers class.
No, book a consultation with
book a consultation with me.
How do they book a consultation? What's your email?
You can just go on my Instagram, designeragent_jazz, and then I have a link in my bio. You can see all the ways to contact me.
Okay. But so for the people that have already gone through the process, already have have their home or whatever, and they are trying to either sell it or to get other rental properties or different things of that nature, the way that I'm viewing it is that it's very volatile right now with the interest rate are like 7. When I bought mine was like 2 something, maybe 3, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to jump out there. Is there like a perfect time or storm or something that sets up for you to be able to do stuff?
It's funny because I just had a meeting with my cousin the other day, and we were discussing the interest rates, and he was like, I mean, I didn't think 7% was that bad, because but just you got to think about it historically. Okay. So you just know what you know from right now, because you've only been in the realm of trying to purchase in the past couple of years, and this is not the norm. Okay. Like 2% is not the norm. Okay. 3% is not the norm. 4% is not the norm. Okay. So like we're looking at back in the day, interest rates used to be like credit cards.
Like 15, 25%?
Yes. And
For real?
Yes. And so like 6-7% was more normal, like a normal interest rate. Yes. And so the difference is like, I mean, there is inflation and things, but like, it takes money to make money. So like the prices are not going down really. Right. No. In this area. Some areas have seen some different changes, but I'm only saying I'm an expert in real estate in the area that I'm in.
That's going up to make some money.
Right. I don't know. I can't tell you about Georgia. I can't tell you about Alabama, New York or any of that. Right. But here, just the type of economy that we have in Nashville, Clarksville, surrounding areas, it's just a popular area right now that people want to move to. Yeah. So our prices are pretty stable and rising.
Yeah, people are moving here. Like I got a guy from New York just moved here. People from California. Everybody wants to move here, but they all want to live close to downtown. They're gentrifying the projects, tearing it down, and building the tall and skinnies and different things of that nature. And it's a different atmosphere right now where people, I remember people used to be scared to go to certain areas and stuff like that. Man, people knocking down them and building new stuff,
white people
and they walk around with their dogs and stuff, man. And it's different. Even the schools start, in the school system, you have a school that's traditionally, a certain demographic, and then you look 2 years later and it's like 50-50. It's like 30-30-30. And that's a culture shock to a lot of areas. I work at a school, not too far from where I live at now, and it used to be a certain way. You got teachers there for 20 years, and now and the population probably has always had some diversity, but now if you look at the diversity, let's say there's 1,000 kids, you got 300 that are white, 300 that are black, 300 that are Hispanic, and 100 others. So it's very diverse right now because people are having to move away from the inner city because it's getting so hot to live there. Right. And then you got the stadiums, you got the downtown life is very cool.
It is. It's not for me.
It's not for me, but it's good to visit. It's like cool, I don't want to live there, but it's cool to go down there. I went to a Predators game a couple weeks ago. It was dope. We won. I go to Titans games, different things like that. I visit, but I don't want to stay down there because it's too much going on. I want to go to bed and not hear,
the city that never sleeps.
It's crazy. And then a couple Christmases ago they had the bomber down there, and I was like, no, I definitely don't want to live there.
There's too much going on, and I don't like traffic.
I don't like traffic either.
And I like to be to myself when I'm at home. So
I want to be able to go outside and see deer.
I don't want my neighbors knowing everybody who visits me all the time. Like your neighbor, they know everything you do. They know what you buy at the grocery store because they see you all the time.
Exactly.
They right there. So that's not the life I want. What was the original question? I don't even remember.
So we were talking about interest rates, but we just kind of
okay. Yeah, cool. I was trying to think. I couldn't even remember because I was going to double back to it. But yeah, it's normal. And so what we say in the real estate industry is marry the house and date the rate. So which means
say it again.
Marry the house and date the rate.
Marry the house and date the rate.
Commit to the home.
Right.
And the rate is just a fling. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a side chick.
Yeah, it's a side.
The rate is the side chick.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Switch it out. Basically saying the rate you can refi when you see the rates change.
But the rate seems to be going up. Like if I'm at 3, my rate is not going to be a 1.
No, you're fine. I'm talking about right now.
Okay, so if you
haven't bought and you're trying to buy right now,
yeah,
I would say still buy because the prices are still going up.
And then you can get it and then refinance at a lower number.
And I'm not gonna lie, Keenan, I'm worried for our people. I'm really worried for our people. Just people who haven't gotten it yet, like people who haven't purchased yet, people who haven't realized the importance of purchasing, because we're gonna price ourselves out. So I've seen it happen.
Tell the people the importance of purchasing and ownership and different things like that from your perspective.
Right. So, not to throw her under the bus. Nobody knows her anyway. But anyway, one of my cousins, she's been renting for like 10 years now. And so I got on my calculator. I was like, so how much is your rent? And then she told me, I was like, okay, times 12, times 10. It was something like $100,000.
So that's half a house, basically.
Right. I was like, you've been living here and you've been paying your landlord. You basically paid off this property for your landlord, and you have no ownership on it. In it, when you leave, you have nothing. And I'm trying to get her to buy a house. She's not willing to live in an area she doesn't want to live in. But I'm like, look, the area you want to live in, you can't afford to live in.
Right.
And so I'm like, you need to start small. And I get you not wanting to live over here, but I was like, you don't even need to live.
Where are you trying to make this girl live at, first of all?
In Clarksville, Oak Grove, like anywhere where she can afford a home that's decent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and she's a single woman, and she has a set amount of income that she makes, and she's a hustler, but I honestly don't see her getting past a certain tax bracket.
Right.
And with her being in that certain tax bracket, which is like 60 and under, it's hard to find a home that's affordable.
Actually above the average income. The average income in America is like 45.
But
so that's another question though. So coming into it as a single person versus with the 2 income, having a husband, wife, or significant other, or whatever that may be, what are the benefits for each?
So even if I was married, I would only.
I thought you were.
Oh no! It's just I just like to be fancy.
She don't want nobody to come talk to her.
Well, yeah. I
she said, "Yeah."
I'm not married. I just like rings, but I have lots. So yeah, if you like me, buy me jewelry. But no. So if you're single, you need to, I would say, dial it back. Like, don't buy anything that's like way at the top of your budget, because obviously you don't have anybody to help you.
And if anything happens, you'll burn up.
Yeah.
Like if you got a $700,000 house, I'm just throwing it out there, and your mortgage is $2,500 or $2,000 or whatever it is, and you get sick or you get pregnant or you get whatever, or I hurt my leg on the ladder trying to fix the roof and I'm out of work and I only can get with FMLA and stuff, I only can get like 50% of my wages.
Right.
I'm gonna lose something.
You'll be all right. I would just say.
Then you got a car note too.
Yeah, so there's lots of protection that you can do there too. So like once you real estate's an investment. So I always tell people, once you invest in something, you have to protect it next.
Yeah.
So right after. So there's home warranties that you can use, that you can just pay smaller deductibles to get things fixed. If you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you can get something called accident or disability insurance.
Okay.
You can get life insurance. I recommend getting life insurance for the cost of your home.
Oh, that way if you die, pay it off?
Yeah, it'll pay it off.
That's dope. Do that.
Then also there's other different types of life insurance, and like I said, I only claim to be an expert on real estate. I know a little bit about the industry surrounding real estate, but don't ask me for any details. I refer Marcus Johnson at Johnson Capital if you have any
shout out.
If you have any financial questions about life insurance and things like that. And so there's all kind of insurances, and they usually are like minimal cost to be able to protect you from injury or anything like that, or something happening with your house. And a lot of times some of those life insurance policies, even if you're just sick to the point where you can't work. Mm-hmm. You can probably draw, I think I've seen some where you can draw up to 75% of that policy, even if you aren't, deceased.
So let me ask you this. With you said you went from Sherwin-Williams,
people always
the
say
paint
that.
company,
Sherwin
company to your real estate agent you bought, right? Okay.
No, that is not how
that's what people see.
That's what people think. Yeah.
So, did you have to go back to college? You have to get some type of certification, degree, take a test? Like what?
No.
What's that? No, you just said I just want to say this, so I'm just gonna go post up in this house and squat, and now I own the house.
No. I'm gonna answer both questions because I feel like I ain't finished with the other one either.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer both. So, and the other one's gonna be quick. So if you're married, you only buy the house based on one income. Don't buy it based on both of y'all incomes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But anyway.
No, but we want to go back to that. Like, why?
Affordability. And then also, if you only need to put one person's name on the house.
Whoa, now, hold up now, player.
Okay, now listen.
So if I put just your name on there and then you try to kick me out the house and leave me,
hear me out,
and take the equity in the house or something, and I don't get nothing, I'm looking stupid, and I paid it off mostly?
That's not how that works.
That's how, guys.
No, listen, that's not how that works. So in Tennessee, it is a state where you automatically have to split the price of anything property that you own with your significant other.
Okay.
Even if you owned it before them.
What?
So, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So right now I own this house. If I get a significant other and they move in and blah blah blah, and then we get divorced, they can take half the profits from the house that's mine.
Yep.
That's why there was a soccer player in another country who put everything in his mama name, so that when the lady tries to divorce, I mean, it's better than trusting somebody that's gonna just leave you.
Nah, but some people can't even trust their mama. So.
Well, the soccer player was smart.
I don't recommend the mama thing.
What's a who? Then?
I recommend if you're trying to. No, I recommend like a trust, or like a business or something like that. Probably a trust if you're trying to like keep it to where you can't sell it for profit. It needs to be something that is not the marital property.
Right.
If it's marital property, any house you live in with a significant other that is owned between the two of you is marital property. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because it's like y'all. Okay, say
that's the law.
Just think though. Like if you move a woman in here and y'all living together for
she gotta go.
You know what I'm saying? Just say like y'all were together 5-10 years or something like that.
She gotta go when it's time to go.
No, I mean she can leave, but you would have to pay her half of what your house is worth for to keep it.
Pay her half of what the house.
So you either have to sell it and give it to her, or if she like just decided to leave and nothing, then you could do that too.
This does not make me want to be married. If somebody goes to take my stuff that ain't even in. I had this before her. I thought they say if I had something before her, or she had it before him, that's no.
So
prenuptial agreement.
I agree with that, but see, so I'm okay with prenuptial agreements, and some people would be like, oh, why get that if you're
don't take all your stuff?
No, but I just think it's one thing. It's like, okay, we've already agreed in the event that something does happen. I don't think it's foreshadowing divorce. I just think that it makes, if there was to be a divorce,
amicable separation. Because if we got kids, pay child support, alimony, that type of stuff. But if I had already, like a lot of, I'm not gonna say who, but a lot of people focus on high income people, and they'll say, well, this person got this, so I'm gonna do everything that I need to do, get a baby by him or her, whatever, and then leave them and take care.
But it's a lot of high income people that are not smart either.
That's
so
true.
I'm just a very aware person. I'm a self-improvement junkie, and
good.
I just know a little bit about a lot of things. Well, I know I'm an expert on real estate, but I know a little bit about all the rest of the stuff. So I would get a prenuptial agreement. I probably would, and I just feel like men, for some reason, these days men just have the scarcity mindset.
What's that mean?
Like just think like crabs in a barrel. Oh, what is somebody gonna take from me? Or just feel like everybody's taking from them. When the fact of the matter is, if you have a woman living in your house, more than likely, if you have a good woman, whatever she takes half of when she leaves,
you're gonna get back.
No, I'm saying like you've already been benefiting from this woman for those years, and she deserves it.
Well, she been benefiting from me too.
But I'm saying, like she helps you make a home. So it's like,
that's true.
And it's no way that you're gonna have somebody living here and they're not gonna improve your space for you. Like, you know, if you have a good woman,
if you have a good woman,
so she's gonna come in here. She's probably gonna make it way better than what it was when she came, because that's what good women do. We make things better.
Shout out to the good women. We need those.
Exactly, and
not the scallywag.
No,
just the good ones.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't think that that's the focus. If your focus is love, then you shouldn't even really be worried about that. Prenuptial agreement is what it is.
A lot of people don't marry for love though. They marry for that.
But you
that
gotta be
duty and obligation.
But you gotta be. You have to be aware of what, and that's okay, I think.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting this and I'm wanting this, and my want fills your need,
then we can come together.
Whether that's what you're saying or not, that's fine. Some people, that works for them because that's what they need each other for those things.
Right.
And other people are more like love type marriages. Oh, I want to be all in love, or I want to do this.
Because that fades.
It does, but I feel like it's necessary too.
It is. You gotta like the person. Like you gotta.
We
like
gotta genuinely like.
Otherwise, I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Nah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something.
I'm not driving far for anybody I don't like. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. I'm gonna just put it like this. Like I'm not gonna lie, and probably some guys who have dated me probably definitely feel this. I can be a nigga. I mean, like, I can act just like a nigga. So it's just like, if I don't like you like that,
mean?
I just mean like, you know how like just like whatever phase of life when you're selfish or you just do things based on yourself.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of like your nigga phase.
I think a lot of people need to do that because sometimes you put too much into the other person.
Agree.
And you lose yourself, and then you get mad when they don't fit the mold anymore, because sometimes you meet a person when you're or they are at a certain phase, and then when they grow out of that, you're no longer the same person, and they don't need the same things from you. So you have to grow together in order to really be successful in any type of relationship that you're kind of doing.
I mean, I'm not gonna be with anybody who can't be my business partner.
Right.
Who we can't buy a bunch of real estate together and not worry about you running off over here.
That's true.
You know, I'm not even.
Because otherwise, why are we even doing this?
Why are we even doing
process,
it?
Right.
But I posted this the other day. It's way too many men out here who want to be treated like ladies. Let's just be real.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
Like just like, you know, like I get it. Like women are more independent. But it's just like, you want a woman for what you want a woman for, because there's only those things that women possess.
Exactly.
And the same thing is vice versa.
All right.
So you can't be expecting me to do all these manly things and think that I'm gonna come over here and be so womanly with you or feminine, and you can't expect
you're in your masculine energy.
Right, and you can't expect for me to treat you how a lady should be treated, thinking that you're supposed to have that type of treatment. Like, I'm not chasing no man ever. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ever going to be the pursuer in any type of relationship that I'm in, and I've just come across too many guys who like want me to mold my life to them. They want me to pursue them. They want me to like prove to them why I'm worthy to be with them, and that's just not how that goes. Like women are the prize. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute now. Yes. I thought we both said happy life.
Yes, but see, no, it's happy wife, happy life.
No, what about us?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the scarcity mindset. What? No, just listen. Like, if any quote, but like happy wife, happy life. Nothing about that quote says unhappy husband, unhappy life. It's not happy wife, happy life, unhappy husband. It's just happy wife, happy life. It's just saying like, sometimes I just think it means like sometimes you do things to just make the situation okay. It doesn't always have to be about what you want, and that's everybody. Like, it's just that rhymes better. Happy husband, happy life. That don't even sound right.
That's not what we say.
But I'm saying, but like, it doesn't sound right. That's why they say happy wife, happy life, because it's a poem and everybody likes stuff that rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really just sounds better.
So, I've been hearing a lot of different things other than that, because it gets to the point where men are dying early. Men are not being fulfilled the way they need to be fulfilled because the focus has always been on happy wife, happy life. And the men are sitting here holding, everything in. We're not getting the things that we need from the situation. And I know we're not here to talk about relationships and stuff like that.
Oh, but we do it now.
But from what I hear, like, I did an episode on stay-at-home husbands, right? And if the woman stays at home, right, she's taking care of business. She's making the house run. Flip that, because you got a boss lady out here. The husband don't make as much money, and it makes sense for him to stay home with the kids. But he's treated differently. And I think for a long time the emphasis has been on making sure that the woman is happy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know...
But you can't expect anything different, though.
Huh?
Like, I mean, like...
In the modern society now?
No, but I'm just saying, like, okay, if it's different. Because I'm a woman, like, so if I'm at home doing motherly and maternal things...
Yes. That's fine. That's great.
No, I'm just saying, but like, if a man is at home doing it, and you're a man, you don't have, first of all, you don't have those same like maternal instincts. You're not gonna do it in the same way a woman would. And then second of all, like she has to take on a masculine role, and he has to take on a feminine role. So it just turns into this thing where I have to act like a man. And let's be real, like you're thinking about it as this like rose-colored glasses thing. A lot of women who stay at home probably don't feel their best. Just being real. Okay. Like a lot of at-home wives or at-home or mothers, they're probably not feeling their best. They're not fulfilling themselves usually, unless they get their fulfillment through just caring for the home and taking care of a person. And some people do, but most people really want to have achieved something on their own.
And aspirations.
And so that woman probably is not the happiest either. And men also treat women who don't have their own money and who don't provide any financial contribution to the house as lesser than.
So flip that, and now the woman is in that role, and the man is at home. So now she treating him like you ain't nothing but stay at home. And
the man does the same thing. Like you see it where the man will make a lot of money. He feel like he can cheat. He feel like he can stay out all night. He feel like he doesn't have to do anything when he gets home at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Or he feels like
he's paying all the bills.
He feels like he doesn't have to give his wife a break, and she's been dealing with. He feels like, oh well, why don't you have time to do this? Why you ain't always looking your best? Why you ain't, because I'm only one working. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. So it's no different, really.
In a nutshell, what you're saying is make sure that we
have your own independence
and prenuptial agreements.
Well, I just think, first of all, I think it starts with, I think all these problems can be erased if you just find the right person.
If you make good decisions on the front end.
And I feel like
I agree with
what you're saying, a lot of things you were saying was like, sound like wrong woman, wrong woman, wrong woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that issue with my men.
Right.
They don't know.
I don't either, because I'm in my masculine energy and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I have a certain boundaries or level of things that I'm going to accept and some things I'm not. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing something that I feel like goes against what I stand for, what I'm doing, we're gonna have a conversation. If not, I can keep it moving. Right. Because you got to be kind of no nonsense about certain things. Some stuff is deal breakers. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to kind of pivot from that to how property and real estate and those things create generational wealth. Right. For your family. Like I have a daughter, she's downstairs. And you have a daughter, she's downstairs. Right. And we want to leave them something. We want to, whether it be Airbnb and a rental property, or that they can live in themselves and raise their family. Mm-hmm. What kind of advice would you give people like that are a little older, that have something? Because this is what I hear. I hear a lot of people that are, let's say, 40 to 50 years old. Their parents are a little older. Mm-hmm. They're passing away possibly, and they don't want to deal with keeping up this property or paying the taxes or whatever it is, and then they lose it, and then now they're like, man, I should have kept great-great-grandmama's house, because now it's worth $500,000, only worth $10,000 when they bought it, and that could help our family as a whole. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Well, one thing is you can lead people to the water, but you can't make them drink.
That's real.
So stupid just gonna be stupid, and you just can't help stupid people. I'm just sorry, like I don't waste my time.
What if you don't have the? Well,
I'm gonna get there. I had to preface with that. Okay. I've tried to tell people and give people advice, convince people of things, and it's really out of the pureness of my heart, because I benefit nothing from telling them the advice, and they just don't listen. And so there's that. But I feel like the number one thing that people should do, if you're already in the position, like your parents already own property, they need a will. Okay. So I have a will already, and people look at me and I'm like, oh, you have a will? You're 34. People die at all ages. Yeah. And it's at alarming rate. Like my younger cousin passed, and he's the youngest of all of us, and we would have never expected it. So definitely get a will. If you're already in position, your parents have, and your parents are already in position, get a will, and it says how that property is distributed. That way you can possibly forego legal stuff, probate and things like that, because probate also is going to like decrease your bottom line. You got to pay for everything that deals with the court. If you have a will, all you really need to have is an executor of the will, and and then pretty much banks, and you just need a death certificate, and things can be dispersed pretty easily. But if you're about to buy or you recently have purchased, like we talked about earlier, you need to get life insurance. Now, if you can't afford whole, there, which I don't even have whole, I have term, and I just keep stacking them. So I probably have like $1 million in term insurance, but what I do is like buy a new policy every few years, because term insurance is years. So it's like 10 years, 15 years, and so
if I can take that and stack it to the next one.
Right. So if I get one for 10 years, in the 10th year mine's expired, and I bought one 3 or 5 years later, I got another one that's gonna surpass those. So I will get an insurance policy that pays off the balance of your home in the event that you do pass away. So even if your home that you live in still has a balance, your children can own that home free and clear.
That's right.
So, and just, honestly, it just takes education. Just like you tell your kids to say please and thank you, they need to know financial literacy. They need to know that when they turn 18, they can purchase. You need to be telling them when they turn 18, get a job, go buy a house. Like we were talking about your daughter the other day. As soon as she get a job, the best your credit ever is at the beginning. It's easier to build credit than it is to repair it.
Really? My credit was always terrible.
No, but it's
until I got older.
It's easier to build your credit than it is to repair bad credit. Okay. So like if you start from zero, which you can also add your children when they're younger as trade line, and add them as an authorized user so you can start getting them credit.
Okay.
Start your children's credit early. As soon as they're able to get any type of credit, have them do it. Whether that be a I can't think what it's called anymore. It's been so long since I did it. Basically, a secured credit card. So when they're 18, get them a secured credit card, $500. Whatever money they got from graduation, have them put it down.
On card,
and teach them how to use credit cards. And that's not to live off of. It's to you swipe and then pay your bills.
Right.
So what I do now, I completely live off credit cards. I swipe my credit card. I don't use my debit card for anything, and I just go pay it off every month.
Right.
So I put all my bills on my credit card, and then I just pay it off every month so I can get the points.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
And what I've been doing is I've been building up my business trade lines and my Dunes and Bradstreet. That stuff. And I have a person I'm working with out of Atlanta. Shout out to them, and they've been really helping me build up. My companies. I have multiple companies, but I'm trying to get some money that's just for my EIN number and not me. So that, I can build that up. So like when something comes back, it's not looking at me personally, it's looking at my business, which is way better. And so I've been kind of doing that.
And then just making sure you don't have any loose ends. Like even with your business, do you have a succession plan? Like if something were to happen to you today, do you have a sheet that just has like a list of all your passwords or operation procedures, or if you would want your business to keep going, or how can your daughter tap into your business credit? How can she keep your business going?
Right.
And so we just need to have those conversations. I just think everything starts with education and teaching our children to say please and thank you, and being polite, and not teaching them how to survive is crazy. Right.
That's true. And you got to start them young. So any other last comments that you want to make?
I'll just say be okay with starting from the bottom. Like I know that Instagram
starting from the bottom now.
Right. Instagram glamorizes everything, and I ain't gonna lie, I'll be making stuff look real good on Instagram because life is good. I ain't gonna lie. But and I'm blessed, but it's an internal thing. It's not about anything materialistic. It's a mindset. You gotta always be grateful, and I think you gotta be willing to be new at something. You gotta be willing to start from the bottom, and you got to be willing to make a sacrifice for the things that you want, whether that's relationships, home ownership, or anything that you want in life. And don't give up. Be consistent and be relentless towards your goals.
So I see that you have this necklace on, right? Yeah. And it says what?
Designer agents.
The designer agent. What does that mean?
So I am the designer agent, and my company is called Designer Agents, and I'm an interior designer and a real estate agent, and that's how I kind of put those things together. That's what makes my company different. You can hire us for renovations. I have the eye for that, so I feel like my clients trust me when it comes to new construction, picking out new things to go in their home and things like that. But yeah, I am Designer Agent. It's my baby. It's my brand. It is me. So.
All right, so on Roasting the World, we have what's called Roasted or Toasted.
Okay.
When you roast something, you toss it in the fire and say, we don't need to talk about this anymore. It does not help push our culture. And when we have Toasted, where we toast it and we say, hey, our culture, the people we know, we need to have more robust conversation concerning these particular topics. So with the topic of generational wealth, real estate, and building from there, do you think we need to roast it or toast it?
Toasted.
Okay. Why? Talk to the people. Give them like maybe a minute or so of why it's important to be in this particular realm or thought process in financial literacy and building generational wealth through real estate. Yeah,
I mean, because like if anybody had a head start, where would you be? So I think that's why it needs to be toasted too, because it's like, you know, our counterparts, the wonderful people, they've had a head start, you know, on our backs. And so at this point, if we want to catch up, if we want any power in our communities, we got to have the capital, we got to have ownership. And really the fastest way for us to be able to be more, I think, sufficient as a community is to have more ownership and wealth. That's the reason why they go up and buy all this stuff. And then they have enough money to maintain it for generations and generations.
Yeah. And then the price goes up.
The price goes up, yeah. And they've just been continuing to do that. And we, as soon as we get any money, we're spending it on things. And we're not spending it on the things that are going to last for generations. And let's just be real, the only thing that can last for generations that you can really purchase and it be a family thing is real estate. So if you're thinking about a gift, I would give the gift of ownership, not a car, not jewelry, not any of those things. Like land, someplace where your children's children can come back and have family reunion. You know, I feel like that's just a beautiful thing. Like having a home, having land in the family for generations is going to change, I think, our outlook on familial status, because I feel like we've gotten far away from where we need to be there too, as well as helping us in our social and economic status. So.
Wow, that's very well said. I toast this also. I'm in the process. I'm trying to get like her when I grow up. But
look, I'm trying to be like the me I know I'll need to be or what to be.
So do you have any special shout outs to your company, websites, people, or anybody that you want to shout out, that helped you along the way, so that, or ways that they can contact you?
Yeah, so you know how Issa was like, or no, it was Snoop Dogg. He was like, I want to thank me for being me and doing all the shit I had to do for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, I mean, like, there's been some like little situations where I might have like called somebody for some help on a contract, but no lie, I've done this by myself. I've had my parents' support as far as like helping me with my child, to help me have the time and space to do the things I need to do. Right, but as far as like the get it out the mud, the hustle,
it's been you.
So separate, the
designer agent.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, so what's your IG or your website or any something like that?
And God, of course, and God.
Absolutely, God first all the time.
So website, thedesigneragents.com. Okay. Instagram, designeragent_jazz. My personal page, Designer Agents Realty. My business page, 931-801-2034. You can call me, text me.
But don't have everybody calling her phone all that.
They all do anyway. Okay. I mean, people text me all the time. It's fine. I really am down to earth, easy to talk to. So you can text me, but just know that I will call you and text you back at my convenience. For real. So I will return your call, but just know that it'll be when I can. I have a life. People don't think I have one. So yes, I have a life. But yeah, reach out. I love to collaborate with people on events. And while I am a real estate professional, that's just not all that I am. I'm many things.
Well, what else do you do?
I mean, I like to hike. I just started playing tennis. I'm a mother. I like to travel. And so those are the other things that consume my life. I throw events. So I like
and you were telling about one that you had Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. I have an event every month, the last Thursday every month, and it's just a networking event. And this time, it'll be your industry, the film industry. Yeah. Right. I change the theme every month because I want to change who I meet every month.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just want to meet all different types of people because I'm multifaceted. I want to be involved in all sorts of things. So.
Well, big shout out to the designer agents.
Thank you.
So we want to say we appreciate you from Roasting the World. You know, coming on, sharing your vast knowledge base, because people really need this information. So for my audience, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. And please stay tuned for another exciting episode of Roasting the World. Peace.
I didn't know you were going to do peace. I just did it.